All right, I'm here with the legend, the man, the myth, the legend, Royce Gracie. How you doing, Royce?
Life is good in my world, no complaints.
That's awesome. So let's get started. I want to talk about the tapes that were filmed in the 1980s. They call them the Gracie in action tapes. So from what I understand, you guys were going into gyms across America and either respectfully challenging other people, other arts like Kung Fu, Karate, Taekwondo, and just, how does that work? Like,
some were done at the Gracie Academy, so the guys came in. We have
how did they even know to do that?
We gotta go back a little bit. When Horton first got to America, he went to a kickboxing academy in LA. It was Ben Urquidez. At the time, Ben Urquidez, the world champion of kickboxing, Muay Thai, fought in Thailand, and Horton went there to, let me show you guys what I got. Not to challenge.
Okay.
But he ended up becoming a challenger. And Ben is like, okay, you do your thing, I do my thing. Horton didn't know who Ben Urquidez was. And okay, so it became a match. He thought it was gonna be a kickboxing match with some stand-up guy, but Horton, okay, go. Horton tackled him, took him down, did not hit him. Mounted on him and talking to the students in the class. Guys, if you don't know, he didn't know who the guy was. He understood as let's have a match, okay. So Horton took him down, controlled the situation, never touched him, never hit him. And Ben is trying to swing, trying to get out, couldn't escape from the mounting position. The whole thing got escalated. Eventually, the Horton had a white belt student, Richard Bressler was there. And the guys are like, okay, you can do it. How about your student? And point to Richard. The Horton told Richard, he's a white belt, just cover your face and shoot him. And Richard's a white belt, took a professional kickboxer down, mounted on the guy, never hit them. To them, they were just trying to, hey guys, let me show you what I got.
Gotcha.
They were fighting. So took him down, controlled, the whole thing got a little messy, out of control, so they kind of broke away. Okay, they left. A few years later, Horton got invited to be the stunt coordinator for Lethal Weapon.
I remember that.
One of the producers, I guess, one of the producers was doing a documentary on mixed martial art. So Horton became the stunt coordinator for the Lethal Weapon, for the first one. A few months later, the producer got a hold of Horton. Hey, I'm doing this documentary in mixed martial arts. I got a guy that would fight. Would you fight? Horton's like, of course. Horton said, who is it? Ben Urquidez. Horton told him, hey, tell him he's fighting me. Apparently Benny came back and it's like, I have never heard of him. Okay, let's do it. We'll do it again, but this time, let's do it for real.
Yeah.
So, but then apparently Benny was asking, give me $100 and I'll fight you. Horton was like, why am I gonna give you $100? You see, what do I get? Or you get my belt as a world champion in kickboxing. Horton was like, I'm not a kickboxer. So that was so the fight never happened because Benny would fight if you pay him to fight. And Horton was like, man, let's make a personal bet. I'll put 100, you put 100. And Benny's like, no. You pay me, I don't bet. So right after, there was a Playboy magazine that came out and did an interview with Horton. And they kind of heard of that story and it came out wrong. The Gracies offered $100,000 challenge to whoever beat them. It's like, no, we don't offer. Shit. So people would call us, hey, can I come in?
Let's go.
Sure. So sometimes I'll do it. Sometimes we'll tell the students, hey, do you feel like doing this guy? He's your size. Sure, the students would jump in. There's a lot of students who was eager to jump in and do it, you see. So sometimes I'll jump in, sometimes the students will jump in, but those guys coming in But there was no such a thing as we pay $100,000.
No.
People misunderstood the article. Yeah, the guys pay $100,000 if we go fight them, if we beat them. So people knock on our doors. So a lot of the inaction was done at the Gracie Academy.
Okay.
For the people that came in. A lot of times it's a student that had a friend or family member that trained different martial art and want to come in and try out.
Okay. Okay, so that makes more sense. Did anything ever go wrong? Like, did you ever see anything crazy where someone did come in and knock someone out before the fight got to the ground?
Oh no, people
Never
are very
happened.
respectful.
Okay.
They will come in and they want to come in, they want to try out. Okay, and I'll tell the guys, don't beat them up. Convince them because they're going to become students.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's
If
the
you
best
beat
form
them
of
up,
effort.
it's like they're going to leave with a bad taste. So convince them.
But as a Gracie Jiu Jitsu practitioner, before they got the takedown, did they ever get clocked like, and then they couldn't continue?
Not that I can remember.
No, you can see, I didn't
Not
think
that
so.
I can remember. The guys had good management of distance, so you shoot in and take the guys down, or you see get in a clinch and subdue them, using submission, make them tap, and then I'll convince the guys to go back and do it again. Dude, you gotta try again. Come on, man,
Yeah, it
you're
could've
good.
worked. This time it'll work.
You're gonna work. Try it again. I'll put you with the smaller guy.
Yeah.
He's meaner and better.
It's better, yeah. Get Hoyler, yeah. Go with
Yeah.
Hoyler, yeah. So growing up, knowing jiu-jitsu your whole life, right? You've learned it since you were a baby, right? 4, 5, 6 years old, you knew jiu-jitsu. Did everybody in Brazil train jiu-jitsu, or was that just your family at that time? Because right now it seems like everybody, is training jiu-jitsu.
My father taught jiu-jitsu to 2 former presidents in Brazil. So
Okay.
everybody at the time passed through my father's hand, from generals to senators, everybody, lawyers, doctors. It was, my father used to teach private classes starting like 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, until 8:30, 9 o'clock at night.
Wow.
So half an hour privates all day, you see. So then I grew up learning and teaching, and then became group class when I was a young kid. That's when Hollis and Carson started to do group classes. But until then, there was no group classes. It was a private classes. That's why my father was a big believer.
So you talk about Hollis. He was the family champion at one point. Was everyone was
Yes.
kind of looking up to him?
He was a
Have you,
lightweight.
you rolled with him
Oh, I was a kid when I was learning.
when you were a
from
kid?
him, yes.
How good was he? Like everybody, I always hear legends of how good he was. Like
He think different, let's say.
okay,
Yeah, he's always pushing himself to. There was not much of jiu-jitsu competition, so they will learn the wrestling rules and try to enter wrestling tournaments, South American Championship, and dealing with professional guys, you see, in sambo tournaments, and they would just, okay, let's learn the rules of sambo and let's go compete, just to push themselves.
and he took Rickson under his wing, is what I understand.
Rickson was coming up when Hollis passed away with a hand glide accident, yes.
Okay.
So that's when Rickson took over.
So how good is Rickson? Everybody, I've never rolled with him. I've never watched him roll with anybody, but the legends are there. He was the family.
He was way ahead of his time too.
really.
So Hollis was smaller. Like when Rickson fought Zulu for the first time, I think
remember
Rickson
that.
was like 17, 18 years old. But Hollis was like supposed to fight Zulu. And then Rickson was like, come on, father, let me do it, let me do it, let me do it. Rickson was eager to do it.
Oh my gosh.
So Hollis was such a nice that he goes, put the kid, let the kid do it. You see, it wasn't like, oh no, I'm the champion, I'm the best one of the family, put me. It's like, nah, let the kid, let the young kid do it. So he was already letting Rickson take over.
And that was when he beat
Zulu, and that's when he went
up. Okay. So how many fights have you seen him get into, even on the street? Or
Hollis.
I was talking about Rickson. I heard he was like
Rickson,
a big street fighter.
Actually, I heard stories. He would show up at the Gracie Academy because of the difference on age.
Right. Oh yeah.
So Rickson, Helson, they always got in
They're all a
fights.
lot
Even
older.
Hoyler got in a lot of fights. But street fights, it's unscheduled.
Right.
bam, happened right
Hey,
here.
Royce, come watch this. Check
30
this out.
seconds. There's no
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
You see, it's 30 seconds. It's a long time in a street fight.
Sure.
Most fights, it's like 10 seconds, a couple punches, and that's it. It's over. So it's no time to, hey, come over here. I'm gonna get in a fight. There was not much of that set up.
Right. So you're 58, right? You've done a lot in your career. What motivates you now? What are you looking forward to? What are your big goals now at the
I love to teach.
teaching?
Travel the world, spreading the word of jiu-jitsu, teaching,
That's awesome.
strategy. Everybody knows jiu-jitsu. Sometimes I go to the fights, PFL and UFC, and the fighters will call me aside and it's like, man, I'm fighting this guy. How should I fight? How do they always ask for opinions? And
That's awesome.
I don't mind helping them out. You see, with the strategy game.
So if you follow Royce on Instagram or his social medias, you'll see he's out traveling the world doing all these different adventures with his son, Conry, and
One day I'm on the snow riding the snowmobiles. The next day I'm behind of a boat surfing a wave.
Yeah.
To jumping from an airplane to shooting and
just everything. So like, where do these come from? Are you like, okay, next week I want to do this, or did they offers just come, or how does this work? Like, where do you get these ideas to do these different things?
I think my kids and I were adrenaline junkies.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
We're adrenaline junkies. It's gonna go fast. Let's do it. We gotta go jump from high altitude. Let's go.
Easy, do it.
Hold on. It's gonna be miserable. Swim across Tampa Bay.
That's the last time you were here.
Let's go.
Swim across Tampa Bay. How did that go? We never spoke after.
It's miserable. Always miserable.
Is it terrible?
It's always miserable.
How could I make my life harder so that life's easy? Yeah. Have you jumped out of an airplane?
Oh yeah.
Do you do that often?
Jump out of a helicopter into the ocean, swim to the boat, gear up in Hawaii, and then go scuba diving looking for sharks.
So like, okay, perfect example. Where did that come from? One day you were like, I'm gonna jump from a helicopter into, where did it come from? Did someone offer, hey Royce, do you wanna go up and jump out of a helicopter with me? Like, how does this happen?
Kind of like that. It's a
Okay.
Navy SEAL friend of ours
okay.
who runs the operation in Hawaii. And we're in Hawaii. He's like, dude, I got a helicopter. We're like, can we jump? It's like, yeah. I was like, okay, let's set it up. So
Done.
we go to fly out with the helicopters, stop next to his boat, and then from the helicopter, how high do you guys want to jump? That's the thing.
That's
and
insane.
we jump and then swim to the boat, gear up, and then go scuba diving with sharks and stingrays and big giant turtles and shipwrecks.
Out of all that stuff, has anything gone really bad? Like, oh crap, I regret doing this now because this just happened. Like an moment?
One of the scuba dives, I'm down there, got way down there, to the point that it's deep that I have to do 2 stops before I come up to the surface. Got there, I breathing in, I feel like I'm sucking air to a straw.
Oh no.
I look at the gauge, it's like 0. I blow it out, poof, it's full. Jiu-Jitsu give you control. I call the guy next to me, my brother, one of the instructors, and I show him his eye underwater went like, no! Hold on. He took my air out, give his air, so now we're both together. He's like, do not go up. We went up, stop, got to stop for X amount of minutes, and then go up again, stop for X amount of minutes to equalize, and then go up the surface. There was one little grain of sand that got stuck on the,
oh my gosh, blocked the air.
They blocked the air. So when I breathe in, the air wouldn't come in. Anybody would have probably panicked and would try to swim up, and that's when you bend. Yeah. So I was like, dude, I cannot breathe, but I'm cool. I'm okay.
I got some air. I can breathe. I can breathe a little bit. I can hold my breath. Oh my gosh.
A little breath.
And he freaked out. So you came up and you were good? And everything was fine. Oh my gosh.
I was in Hawaii, Jaws, Maui, and in the back of a jet ski, huge waves. The guy's like, the lifeguard, do you want to go down the wave on a jet ski? I was like, let's go. The noise behind that. I think I bent his jet ski. That's how hard I hold. I whisper in his ear, if this thing breaks down, I swear I'll choke you out before we drown. We went down jet ski in a wave, man.
Oh my gosh. That's insane. All right, so tell me about this. So you've told me before that you live as a professional athlete, like your lifestyle. You don't drink, you don't smoke, no drugs, weed, pills, none of that crap. You're exercising almost every day. You got a crazy stretch routine. How do you do all this, and where did this come from, like this discipline?
My father was very disciplined. My uncle Carlos, very disciplined. But believe it or not, it start with that's what I might believe. Start with the what we call the Gracie diet. It's not because if the kids eat food we call that don't combine, they're gonna get sick, they're gonna die. No, they're not. But it teaches them discipline from a young age. You can eat this and this, but not this and that. Choose. From a young age, they have to choose. But I want both. You can't have it. It doesn't combine. Sorry.
So it just makes it easier on digestion.
We grow up with that kind of discipline. You see, from choosing simple thing like a diet. You cannot eat this, but you can eat that. Both together do not combine. But I want to eat both. Okay, go ahead, try it. But doesn't combine. Do not eat again, ever. So we grow up with that kind of, most of us grow up with that kind of discipline.
Interesting. And also,
it's a simple thing. There's nothing to do with jiu-jitsu, but it teaches the kid how to choose. You gotta choose one or another.
Yeah.
Be strong enough that you can go to a party and not drink the alcohol. I don't even take pictures holding a glass of water, because that glass of water, people might say is whiskey.
Right.
So I go, put it down. There's no glass there's no cups on my hand. You see, there's on the table, I'll move the table because people might say, well, that water, how do you know it's water? Might be,
sure.
How do you know it's apple juice? It's champagne. Nope.
And the whole Gracie diet, separating certain things, is just to be easier on digestion? Is that the whole basis?
Easy digestion, yes. It's not to lose weight, gain weight.
Healthier, because it's easier on your system.
Because we live a life, you got to teach all day, and you got to run around after the kids. You can't wake up and like, man, I'm tired today. And you see, so the easy digestion, your body doesn't spend energy digesting the heavy food like a typical Thanksgiving meal. You eat so much, you go, oh my God, I gotta take a nap, I'm tired, man. Whew, I eat too much. You sit down to watch the football games, you pass out, then you wake up and you're sick. It's like, why? Because the little bit of energy that you have goes down to digest that food. So that's when most people get sick, and so it's towards the easy digestion. Keep the pH balance on the body.
Okay.
And the pH on the body balance.
So even when you were younger, did you ever drink alcohol? Have you ever gotten drunk? Ever?
Never.
Never? Not once? Like not even, let me just see what this is about.
No.
Nothing?
Nope.
Weed?
Smell?
Nothing?
The smell is horrible.
It is. It is. Yeah.
The smell is horrible.
Wine?
So
Brazil? Wine?
Smell horrible. The alcohol smell is just, it's bad.
Yeah.
But people do it because it's under pressure.
Right.
And nobody start with whiskey and vodka.
No, never.
You start with a beer. You start with a light thing. It's a gateway, you see. So you start with something mellow, they call. But even though the taste is horrible, then you get used to it. We're creatures of habit. You get used to it. Good habits, bad habits, we all get used to it.
So if you have a stressful day, a lot of people will go home and have a glass of wine. They'll do a gummy. They'll do weed. What does Royce Gracie do when he's stressful day?
Stretch. I'll watch my news and go to sleep.
All right, I like it.
I mean,
I stretch. Whenever I'm stressed, let me just...
But stress from what?
Right.
You see, because somebody crashed into my car, I got insurance.
Right.
Because the house that I put it for sale, because I lost a flight, I wasn't meant to be on that flight. So I understand why things happen. So it's just stressful. It's very rare that you're gonna see me stressful. Very, very rare. Well, you own $1 million. Okay, good luck collecting that, because I don't have $1 million.
Good luck, yeah.
You won $1 million.
Cool.
cool.
Yeah.
It's a flat line the whole
like
time. You see, it's no, I don't celebrate. Oh my God, I won $1 million. Oh, you lost $1 million in the stock market. Okay.
Well, we get it back.
Yep.
I love it. Do you meditate or anything? Like that sounds like a Zen type state, and then most people are like meditating or they're praying to God, or do you have any spiritual side?
It's, I call that understanding life. Things happen for a reason. You see, what if on the way over here there was a major accident and I was late? I would have called and say, sorry, could not make it.
Yeah.
I'm late. I was not meant to be here earlier.
Right.
You see, something stopped me. I'm trying.
I'm gonna use this one with my wife, by the way.
I tried.
Like, look, I tried to get home on time.
It's just questions. I tried.
Yeah.
I left on time, but the traffic, I calculate, it says an hour, but it took 2.5 hours. It's not my
when
fault.
You're supposed to be here.
So it says an hour on the GPS. I left on time, but there was a crash. Somebody else delayed me. That means I was not supposed to be at that destination. It stopped me from something worse happening.
So no coincidence.
Different than if I'm late on purpose, or if I'm late because I got distracted. You see, doing something else. Oh, sorry, forgot. You see, it's irresponsible.
Right.
But I'm not being irresponsible.
So I'll also say this in the seminar, but March 2003, Albany, New York, was my first official day of jiu-jitsu. 22 years ago, like in 4 more days. And it was a Royce Gracie seminar, and it was in, I don't know if you remember him, Gary Govel's school in Albany, New York. He was a blue belt. And
I remember Albany, I don't remember the place.
Yeah, this is a little place.
Yes.
And I was playing baseball my whole college career, high school, baseball. I watched the UFCs, I'm like, all right, that looks awesome. I'm gonna do that eventually, but I gotta stick to baseball, I gotta focus. Baseball career ends, I go to Yahoo at the time, it wasn't Google, it was Yahoo. I typed in Royce Gracie Jiu Jitsu, closest place to where I'm at right now. And you were gonna be teaching a seminar 3 days later. Like you said, nothing happens, everything happens for a reason, right? I'm like, okay. And I just watched the fights, I'm like, this is the man, I gotta learn from him. I drive out there, I actually get a ticket because I was going so fast, I wanted to just get there. I get a ticket, I'm like, damn it. So I was a little late, just like you said. I was supposed to be on time. That might have been irresponsible. But I get the ticket, I show up, I had an earring in, I was 20 years old. This is 22 years ago. And I go and you said, take the earring out. I was like, okay. And you're like, or it's gonna come out. I'm like, oh, my bad. I take the earring out. I didn't have a gi, I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. Gary gave me a gi to borrow. I put this blue gi on, I show up, and I'm just learning the techniques. I don't know how to do any of them. I watched your lessons, I did the technique. And then you left about 30 minutes for questions. And I was like, dude, I was ready. I'm like, nobody's gonna ask. So Royce, dude, at least 20. So you might remember from that, but dude, it was all me. Nobody said a damn word. I was like, I got another one. Dude, if nobody's gonna say anything, dude, I'll ask all of them. And I asked you everything. And from that day forward, I literally fell in love with jiu-jitsu. I was like, Royce is awesome, jiu-jitsu is awesome. This is my new baseball. I gotta go all in and do this. And I came back to Tampa, went to University of Tampa, kept training with a purple belt around here. And then I get the call that Rob Kahn is coming to Tampa to open a school. He just got his black belt from Royce. Like, the stars aligned. Like, there were no black belts around here. Nobody, zero. If you were a purple belt, you were like, ah. Yep. And Rob Kahn just got his black belt, 2004, from Royce Gracie, and he's coming to Tampa, 5 miles from UT, to open a gym. I was like, this is meant to be. Like, I meet Rob, I fall in love with Rob. He's amazing. He's a fun guy, awesome teacher. And yeah, dude, 22 years. And now I didn't even plan it. I was just like, Royce, you want to do a seminar? He's like, heck yeah.
And now your kid's over here learning.
It's insane, man. And so I just wanted to share that with you. But I don't know if you remember this, but I went to one of the Miami seminars with Rob. It was in 2005, and you were teaching it, and it was all the Royce Gracie Network owners were there, purple belts, blue belts, black belts, and I had just gotten my purple belt from Rob, and you're like at the very end, you're like, okay, everybody, we're gonna line up for some training. So you put me with a group of purple belts, and you put all these guys together, and I was doing pretty good. Like I was doing well, right? I was tapping people out. I was like, come on, who's next? I'm 22 years old. I'm like, just tap, 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 tap. And Royce said, Rob said you took him aside, and you're like, dude, we got to give this kid some stripes. Royce is like, Rob's like, no, I just gave him his purple. He's getting stripes.
But he's beating everybody.
Yeah. So I get up, and I walk up, and I got 4 stripes on my purple belt that one day from this guy right here, and this was in 2005.
Beating all the purple belts.
Yeah.
You gotta.
And Rob looks at me, he's like, don't even think you're even close to brown belt. This is gonna take years and years. Don't even think. I'm like, I just showed up and
didn't ask for anything.
I didn't ask for anything. I just did my thing. But anyway, I thought that was a funny story. So yeah, I got my blue belt from Royce in 2003, and I got 4 stripes on the purple in around 2005 or so. Crazy how now we're back around circle, and now we got all of our students here, and it's pretty awesome. So
now your kids are learning.
Now my kids, I got my Mia, I got my Lucas and my Emma, 11, 9, and 5 at the time of this recording, and they have all been training since they were 3 years old. I used your methods, I bribe them, I pay them, I give them electronic time, I use reverse psychology, I do all the stuff Royce taught me to do, and it's working, and they're all training consistently, and they're having fun. So anyway, thank you, Royce. I appreciate everything, brother. I can't wait for your seminar. And how could they follow you? What's your Instagram?
Real Royce. There's 2. There's Real Royce for the adventures, and then the Royce Gracie Network official.
Okay, so Royce Gracie Network
for the seminars and
for the seminars. If you want to do a seminar with Royce, he said his passion is teaching. He wants to travel the country and teach. This is the man. And if you want to follow him on Instagram, @RealRoyce.
Yes.
And follow him there. And thank you guys for listening.